Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Milton, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make chicken noodle soup. So the ingredients you're going to need is some onion powder, some garlic powder, some seasoned salt, some thyme, some normal black pepper, about a cup of half and half, some chicken bouillon cubes, a few stalks of celery, some carrots, a white onion, some bone-in chicken thighs, a cutting board, and a pot to put everything into. So this meal is for anyone who's living alone on their own for the first time in an apartment or their own house, or any college student that needs a meal to cook when they're under the weather or they just need something to last for about a week or so. So for step 2, we're gonna take our bone-in chicken thighs, we're gonna put them in the sink and run them under some cold water. And the reason why you want to use cold water instead of hot water is because with hot water, you can run it up into the heat danger zone, which can cause bacteria to form and cause the food to go bad. And also, while it may seem that hot water heats up the food faster, it only heats up the outside layer and not the inner layer, which can still cause it to be cold when everything it's not, which can slow down the cooking process. All right, so if you come this way, the step 3, what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this onto medium and let it heat up. And in the meantime, we're gonna start prepping our chicken. So for step 4, what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut this open. We're gonna place this on the side for now. We're gonna open the chicken thighs. And we're gonna rinse them off one by one to make sure that they're clean. So you just wanna get in there real good. Use as many as you want. I usually use either 4 or 6, but for this recipe, we're gonna use 4. So after you're finished washing your chicken off, what you wanna do is pat dry it. So, and this is so the seasoning doesn't fall off, not fall off, but like slip off whenever you're cooking. And I'm gonna get into that more in just a moment. All right, so after you're done pat drying the chicken, what you wanna do is get any seasonings of your choice. Like I said earlier in this tutorial, these are the seasonings we're gonna use. And what I personally like to do is over season my chicken or anything that I'm cooking. And that's because whenever you're cooking stuff, some spices and some seasonings will cook off. So it's better to add more than less. Now the thyme is optional, but I like to use it for this extra bit of flavor. So, and you don't need to use much of this because it will move around as will all the other seasonings. And if you see that you missed a spot, it's okay to go back over. Like how I missed that spot right there. I'm just gonna continue the process. So now what we're gonna do is a sizzle test. After you're done seasoning, your pot is on medium heat, it should be about ready. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come to the sink, get a little bit of water, and throw it into the pot. And as you can see, the water sizzling, so that means it's good to put the chicken in. One by one, we're just gonna put it into the pot. And we're just gonna let those cook off in there. And that's the reason why we didn't remove the skin. You'll see some people I know that cook it, they'll take off the skin, wipe to leave the skin on there because it leaves some of the fat and extra reserves in there. And needs to cook off. And it will start cooking in itself, which I'll show you in a moment. So this is the part I was talking about earlier. You can see it's slowly cooking the fat off into the bottom and it'll cook onto itself. It's a nice brown color. It's nice golden brown color. What you want to do is you want to add your chicken broth in. And if you don't have chicken broth, you can use a substitute of hot water or boiling water and just pour it onto there. And it should have the same effect. I personally just like using chicken broth because it has more flavor onto it. And I like my soup to be flavorful. So while this is cooking, we're gonna cover this and you come over here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wash off our cutting board to prep the vegetables. So for step 7, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut up the whole trinity, which is onions, depending on the dish, it's onions, carrots, and celery. So you're gonna wanna hold your fingers like this, so you don't accidentally cut them doing this. So we're gonna hold it on here, we're just gonna cut. So next we're gonna cut the carrots. These can be any size, big or small. Make sure if you're cutting anything open, you're cutting away from yourself, so you're not cutting toward yourself, you're cutting your arm or any other part of your body. So I'm using the smaller carrots because I can get more out of it. I'm just gonna sprinkle some. Let me put this down. And finally, we have the onions. Which one do you just want to peel back the outer shell because you don't need that. See how this is all papery, but this is thicker. It looks more, I guess the term you could say is shinier, healthier. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this back part off. And we're gonna cut the stem off as well. Just mince this the best you can. If it does start burning, best of luck. Because it's burning my eye right now. I just keep blinking over and over. Woo. Take all this and place it into a bowl like so. Just rinse off your items. And that's the end of that step. So once your chicken has cooked for long enough, it should look something like this. Something like this. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna want to take each piece out one by one and place it into another bowl, and we're gonna shred the chicken. And as you can see, the broth has went down some because it's constantly cooking, so some of it will cook off like I was saying earlier. What we'll do is we'll just add some more broth that we cut up earlier into here so they can cook and soften up. Now I'm going to shred the chicken. So just grab 2 pieces and just pull them. You see how tender that is? How it's just coming off? We're just gonna shred the chicken like that. Now, once you finish doing this, which this shouldn't take long at all, but it just depends how shredded you want it. You can choose to take the bone out, but I choose to leave the bone in because I found that whenever I do bone in instead of bone out, the soup usually ends up having more flavor when it's finished cooking. So now we're on to step 11. So I'm gonna take this off. As you can see, the vegetables have cooked and softened up and the broth looks very rich still. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the chicken back into the pot like so. And I'm gonna make sure that's all in there. Stir it around some, make sure everything gets mixed so the flavors can mix. And then we're gonna let this cook for about 10 minutes. And we're back, as you can see, it's simmering nice, cooking nice. So step 12, we're gonna add any noodles of your choice. For this specifically, we're gonna use bow tie noodles. This is what I've always eaten whenever I've had noodle soup growing up. Then we're gonna let this cook for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll be back to check on it. So once your noodles are at the desired softness, you can pick them up, taste them, use a fork. Just want to add a cup of half and half. I've already used this already. This is 16 ounces, so 8 ounces in 1 cup. So we'll just pour it in here. And this is just to thicken up the soup, so it's not just completely watery. And then just let it simmer. And we'll be back once we're plating. Here is the final product. Just make sure nothing sets to the bottom of the pan. Turn this off. And you can take it right out of here, which is what I'm about to do. Or you can let it sit and then eat. Just have the flavor seep in a little bit more. But it's all personal preference. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some more broth. Very rich. This is how you make chicken noodle soup. If you're living on your own for the first time, you need a noodle. Or if you're sick. Thank y'all for watching.